In the time domain analysis of control system, we are going to find out the performance of the control system in the terms of the various time domain specifications. So that is expressed in the function of time. So after the design and the modeling of control system, now it's time to check the performance of the control system, and that will be checked in the terms of the time domain specifications. For this particular analysis, we require some standard test signals. So in the control system, we are using some standard test signals. These standard test signals are the step input, impulse input, then we have the ramp input, parabolic input. Okay, so the impulse signal, first of all, impulse signal is denoted by delta of t. Its mathematical definition is it is equal to a for time instant t equal to 0 only. Okay, so it is only present for t equal to 0. Laplace of impulse signal is always 1. Next is step signal. Step signal, it is having a mathematical definition, that is u of t is equal to a for time is greater than or equal to 0. This step signal, it is having the sudden change characteristic for the actual input signal. Laplace of the step signal is a by s. Remember this one. This is important because we are using the Laplace of the various signals in the control system. Ramp signal, that represents the constant velocity characteristics of the actual input signal. Mathematically it is defined as a into t because it is having a slope. So it is t is greater than or equal to 0. Its Laplace is a by s. This is the Laplace for the ramp signal. And for the step signal, it is a. Okay, so next is the parabolic signal. The parabolic signal, it will represent the constant acceleration characteristics of the actual input signal. So it is denoted by p of t, which is mathematically described by at square by 2 for the time instant greater than or equal to 0. Its Laplace is a by s cube. For the ramp signal, its Laplace is a by s square. The Laplace of the step input is a by s. So these things are very important. Laplace of step signal is a by s. Laplace of ramp signal is a by s square. Laplace of the parabolic input is a by s cube. These things are important. Okay, so this is the summary of all standard test inputs which we are going to use for the analysis of the control system in a time domain. Impulse input, it is equal to a for time t equal to 0. Step input, it is equal to amplitude equal to a for time t is greater than or equal to 0. Its Laplace is a by s. Laplace of impulse is 1. Laplace of ramp signal is a by s square. Laplace of parabolic signal is a by s cube. There is a particular relationship between all these signals. The integration of impulse signal is step signal, integration of step signal is ramp signal, integration of ramp signal is parabolic. And similarly, there is a relationship for the derivative also. Derivative of the parabolic is ramp signal, derivative of the ramp signal is step, and the derivative of step is impulse signal. As I said, the Laplace is important here. Laplace of impulse signal is a. For the unit impulse, it is 1. For the step signal, Laplace is a by s. Laplace for the ramp signal is a by s square. Laplace for the parabolic signal is a by s cube. Okay, now we are going to see the time response of control system. Total time response is divided into two components. One is the transient response and second is the steady state response. Transient response, that is the time taken to get the actual output, and the steady state response, it is the final value. Okay, so there are two order system, first order system, second order system, that we are going to study in this particular syllabus. When there is only one pole at the origin, that is called as the first order system. Gain K is denoting the DC gain and T is the time constant of the system. Time constant will measure the speed of the system, how it responds. See this example. There is the open loop system 10 upon 3s plus 1, where the 10 is the DC gain. It is also denoted by K, and the time constant is 3 seconds. And for the system 3 upon s plus 5, here the gain is 3 and the time constant is, that should be converted into time constant form. So 3 by 5 divided by 1 by 5 s plus 1. So 3 by 5 is the gain K, and the time constant is 1 by 5 seconds. So depending on this, you can see which system is more faster. So impulse response we can find out for the first order systems in this way, okay, with the help of the Laplace of these particular equations. This is the impulse response of the first order system. Step response of the first order system you can find out. You can have the analysis for the various electrical networks also, like the RC circuit, RLC circuit. You can find out the steady state or the step response. There is a particular relationship between the step and impulse response. So this is the analysis of simple RC circuit. Already we have calculated the transfer function for the RC circuit. Here we are going to find out the equation of the first order system for the RC circuit, that is a V naught of t is equal to V naught into 1 minus e raised to minus t upon RC into u of t. Here V naught of that indicating the final state, and 1 minus e raised to that is V naught into e raised to minus t upon RC, that is indicating the transient response. So this is the example for the impulse response of first order system. Output is given 3 into e raised to minus 0.5 t. Question is to find out the time constant t, DC gain, transfer function, and the step response. Here you can find out this is the output is given. Just get the C of s. The Laplace of the particular equation is 3 upon s plus 0.5. Okay, so as the delta of s is there used, its Laplace is 1. Okay, so that C of s upon delta of s, which signal we have used as a test signal, that is the impulse input. So C of s upon R of s is 3 upon s plus 0.5. So in this manner, delta of becomes the input signal R of s. In a time constant form, it is 6 upon 2s plus 1. So in this way, time constant is 2, DC gain is 6, transfer function is 6 upon 2s plus 1. Step response is 3 into e raised to minus 0.5 t. Okay, so in this way we can find out the step response in the Laplace domain also. So this kind of answers we can get for the various examples. Partial fraction method can be also used here to get the various components of the step response. This is a practical determination of the transfer function of the first order systems. First order system with the zeros, first order systems with the delays. And now very important concept, that is the second order systems. We already discussed the effect of the location of poles and zeros on the transient response of the first order systems. Now as compared to the simplicity of first order system, the second order system exhibits the wide range of responses that must be analyzed and described. Okay, so we'll see here there are various parameters of second order system, various time domain specifications are there. The general second order system is described by the following transfer function, that is C of s upon R of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. Okay, see, this is the closed loop system where the forward gain is omega n square upon s into s plus 2 zeta omega n, feedback element is 1 here, so it becomes the transfer function omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. Omega n represents the natural frequency, zeta represents the damping factor. This is the very important formula for the second order system. Omega n is the natural frequency, zeta is the damping factor or the damping ratio, it should be between 0 to 1. Okay, here we are going to find out the natural frequency for and the damping factor for the second order system given by the transfer function 4 upon s square plus 2s plus 4. Just we will compare with the formula omega n square upon s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Omega n square it becomes 4 after comparison. 2 zeta omega n is 2 zeta omega ns is equal to 2 here, so we'll get the value of zeta, and that is zeta omega n equal to 1, but the omega n is already 2, so zeta becomes 0.5. In this way we can find out the damping factor and the natural frequency. Okay, so there are the three main control systems. Overdamp system, when the damping factor is greater than 1. In the overdamp systems, the peak overshoot will be 0. For the underdamped system, peak overshoot will be 100%. In the undamped system, when it is 0, zeta is 0. Okay, so there are time domain specification. First is delay time. It is a time required for the response to reach the half of the final value. This is called as the delay time. It can be calculated by the formula 1 plus 0.7 zeta upon omega n. Rise time is the time required for the response to rise from 10% to 9% or 0% to 100% of its final value. It has a separate formula. Peak time is the time required to get the peak value, first peak value. It is pi upon omega d, calculated by the formula Tp equal to pi upon omega d, where omega d is the damping frequency. Maximum peak overshoot, this is the maximum peak value of the response curve measured from the unity. It is e raised to minus pi zeta into 1 minus zeta square. Settling time, this is the time required for the response to reach the stay within a range about the final value of size. It is specified by the absolute percentage, usually 2% that we are using in this control system syllabus. Okay, so step response of the underdamped system. By the partial fraction method we can find out the various components. This is the analysis of underdamped system. This is the graphical representation of S plane. Okay, so here we have the formulas, that is rise time is equal to pi minus beta upon omega d, and the peak time, that is a pi upon omega d. Beta is the angle. Okay, how the angle is calculated? Again with the help of the zeta and omega n, angle will be calculated. Omega d, that is the damping frequency, that depends upon the zeta and omega n. Omega into n into under root 1 minus zeta square. We can find out the damping frequency. Peak time is pi upon omega d. Omega d is the damping frequency. E raised to minus zeta omega upon omega d into pi, this is the value of maximum peak overshoot, and the settling time is 4 upon zeta into omega n. for the 2% of band. Next very important concept, that is the steady state error. Steady state, as I said, it is the final value. If there is the error to get the final value or the steady state, that is called as the steady state error. So the various control system will get a various steady state errors. First of all, we should represent a control system in a time constant form. K into Ts plus 1, K into Tbs plus 1 divided by S raised to n. Here S indicates the pole raised to n, n indicates the number of poles at the origin. S raised to n in the denominator, this is the important concept. N is the poles at the origin. It will indicate the type of system. If there are the 0 poles at the origin, that is type 0 system. If there is a 1 pole at origin, that is called as the type 1 system. If there are 2 poles at the origin, that is called as the type 2 system, okay, respectively. As the type number is increased, accuracy is improved also. Increasing the type, it aggravates the stability problem. A compromise between the steady state accuracy and relative stability is always necessary. So we'll see the example here. Consider the system shown in following figure. Input is given as R of S. Error signal is it is sent to the controller, that is a G of S, plant or process gain. Then the C of S is the output. Feedback element is 1. So here the closed loop transfer function is G of S upon 1 plus G of S into H of S, but the feedback element is 1. That's why it is only G of S in the denominator. So the time constant form is written as K into T1 plus TAS plus 1. This is again in the time constant form, divided by S raised to n into T1S plus 1, T2S plus 1. Okay. So always the steady state error is determined with the time t tends to infinity. We'll see the formula for the error signal in a Laplace domain. It is 1 plus G of S into R of S. The steady state error is the limit t tends to infinity into E of t. Limit t tends to infinity for error signal E of t. We'll put the error signal, but using the final value theorem, we can write the limit s tends to 0 S into E of S. We'll put the value of error signal E of S here, S into R of S upon 1 plus G of S into G of S. This is the error signal. Okay, so there are the various static error coefficient. When we are applying the various standard test signals like the step input, ramp input, parabolic input, impulse input, at that time we are getting some coefficient or the constant. When we apply the step input, we are getting the positional error coefficient, that is Kp. Okay, just we will see this. ESS is equal to limit s tends to 0 S upon 1 plus G of S into the Laplace of the step input is 1 by S. So here the steady state error is, we are getting a 1 upon 1 plus G of S. Okay, limit s tends to G of S. In the denominator, it is nothing but the positional error coefficient. So it is the formula of steady state error become 1 upon 1 plus Kp. Kp is nothing but limit s tends to 0 G of S. G is nothing but the forward gain. So for the type 0 system, using the time constant form, the values for Kp will find out, that is K. For the type 1 system, value of Kp is infinity, and for type 2 system, before that we are finding the steady state error. Steady state error for the type 0 is 1 upon 1 plus K, because we are getting Kp as K in a type 0 system. In the type 1 system, we are getting infinity, so A upon infinity becomes 0 for the type 1 system. Then next is the velocity error coefficient. When we are having the ramp signal, okay, so ramp signal is 1 upon S square, unit ramp signal is 1 upon S square. So at that time the Kv will be there, that is the limit s tends to 0 S into G of S. This is the definition of velocity error coefficient. So that's why the steady state error becomes 1 upon kV or A upon kV. For type 0 system, kV is equal to 0. For type 1 system, we can find out kV equal to k. For the type 2 systems, kV is equal to infinity. So the steady state error is 1 upon kV equal to infinity for type 0 system. For type 1, it is 1 upon kV. kV is k here, 1 upon k. Okay, for type 2 system, as the equation of kV is infinity, so it becomes 1 upon infinity equal to 0. Last error coefficient is the accelerational error coefficient Ka. While we applying the parabolic input, the Laplace of the unit parabolic input is 1 by s cube. That's why we have used that here. So we got the accelerational error coefficient Ka, limit s tends to 0, s square into g of s. So the steady state error becomes A upon Ka, and the unit steady state error becomes 1 upon Ka. For the type 0 system, if we do the analysis, Ka is 0. For type 1 system, you will get Ka, that is acceleration error coefficient is 0. For type 2 systems, accelerational error coefficient is k. So we will get the steady state error for the type 0 and 1, that is infinity. For type 2, it is 1 by k. So this is a very important table. For type 0 system, the values for the kp, kv, kar, so the steady state error are 1 upon 1 plus kp, infinity, infinity. For type 1 system, it is 0, 1 by k, infinity. For type 2 system, it is 0, 0, 1 by k. Now we'll see the example. There is one closed loop system given in a time constant form. It is 100 into s plus 2 into s plus 5 divided by s square into s plus 8 into s plus 12. So first of all, the kp, the formula of kp is what? Limit s tends to 0 into g of s. Put the value of g of s here and the solve for the limit s tends to 0. You will get kp equal to infinity. Similarly, kv is nothing but limit s tends to 0, s into g of s. Putting the value of g of s here, the 1 s in the numerator is there and 2 s in the denominator there. So 1 s will be cancelled in the denominator. So it becomes 1 upon 0, that is the infinity. Finally, Ka, the equation is limit s tends to 0, s square into g of s. We will put the value of g of s there. S square in the numerator is there, s square in the denominator will get cancelled. We will get the constant term there, that is the gain 10.4. So the steady state error for the this kp, kv, ka, kp is infinity, kv is infinity, ka is 10.4. You can also find out the type of system. See, in the denominator there is s square, so s raised to n is equal to 2. This is a type 2 system. Okay, so steady state error 1 upon 1 plus kp. Kp is infinity, 1 upon infinity becomes 0. Steady state error regarding the kv, that is 1 upon kv equal to 0. Steady state error for the parabolic input 1 upon ka, k is 10.4, 1 upon 10.4 becomes 0.09. Okay, so in this way we can solve the various examples on the second order systems, first order systems. Okay, so this is all regarding the time domain specifications of the control systems. Thank you very much.